morning. So for those of you who have not heard of Lahontan Gold, there's a reason for that. This is a brand new story. We've been around for just over a year now. My last company was Latin America Resource Group, copper and gold assets in Peru. We sold that in a 24-month timeline to now C3 Metals. It's a $115 million market cap company today. So we gave our shareholders a sevenfold success on that story so far. So we're very excited about that, what we did there. This was born from basically some great shareholder friends of mine, Victoria Gold, who came in and invested in my last private company and came and said, look, we have an asset in the Walker Lane, and we know that you have some as well. Let's get together and start a company. So we started Lahontan Gold Corp just over a year ago. We've raised $8.5 million to date. We are private right now, but we're focused on going public in the next 6 to 8 weeks. We'll be announcing an RTO raise next week with Beacon leading it and Canaccord backstopping it. It's a very simple story. 3 assets, 2 of them brownfield, and 1 with a modest silver resource. Here's the technical highlights of the company. Santa Fe is a project that the Victoria Gold Group brought into our story. The past producer from Corona Gold. It was mined from 1988 to 1992, 375,000 ounces of gold, 710,000 ounces of silver. This came from 4 open pits, very shallow, lots of work to do here. There's over 100,000 meters of drilling, 1,000 drill holes. So we're certainly not starting at ground zero with this asset, and our team likes to joke that it's a target-rich environment. So we started doing our campaign for this drill program last March, and we've been continuing drilling with 2 rigs on site for the remaining of this year so far. The Moho project is an asset that my business partner and I vended into this company. This is near and dear to our hearts because it's an asset that's never been in the public domain. It was owned by a cute little couple that wanted to build a home and never got around to it before the wife passed away, but we got our hands on it back in 2017. It was a past producer by lessors in the 30s, had very high grades, 25 grams per ton gold, 300 grams per ton silver. That's what the BLM said, so we went back and did channel samples underground to verify this data. In fact, we found higher grades than what we saw in the historic data, so we were very encouraged by that. In 2018, in our private company, KA Gold, we chose to do a round of 6 holes of drilling so that we could figure out how the structure ties together. We have a lot of work to do with this project, but we certainly to date are very happy with our results. The Redlich project is right next door to Silver One. It's the Candelaria open pit that was mined for 30 years. We have the extension of that. So we've done some drilling back in 2018, but we'll be exploring that in Q4 of next year. So we're not going to be talking about Moho and Redlich, unfortunately, more than that because we don't have time for that. But the Santa Fe, just a little bit of geology about this project. It's a 18 square kilometer land package in the Walker Lane. Up to the west, you'll see an open pit there. That is the Isabella Pearl mine that's actively being mined by Fortitude Gold. Very nice grades there, 2 to 3 grams per ton gold, and being mined at $650 cash cost. So couldn't be in a better place as having a great neighbor like that. You'll see the 4 pits on the chart here. The Santa Fe pit is the largest one, and then we have the Calvada, York, and Slab pit. It's important to note this is a Carlin-like deposit. However, the difference is it has a lot of silver credit, and a lot of silver in it, which is important to the geology of this and the future of production. We also have a very high-grade deep zone called the B8 zone, and this is what we believe is the feeder to the Santa Fe system. So when we got the Santa Fe asset from Victoria, we wanted to start at ground zero with our database and understand what we had. So we hired a company called Equity Exploration to take all of our data and make it a mineral inventory for us. So we knew where to start. We have a goal of putting out a resource in Q1 of next year. I have a number in my mind that what I want that to look like. And so this allowed our team to kind of have a start of what we could use, what we need to verify, and where to go from here. So our round one drill program that we started March, April of last year, you'll see 2 holes going through the structure here. I'll note that the historic pit, you'll see up above, it's only about 90 meters down. All the colors you'll see below that is just our inventory to date, not a resource. But we did do a couple of holes here to focus on, is it still there? Is it correct? How far down does the oxides go? Where we hit the sulfides, etc. We're really happy with what we found. 188.9 meters, grading 1.75 grams per ton gold, 9.9 silver, and our first drill hole. This also included 56.4 meters of 2.7 grams per ton gold and 17.6 silver. And then when we get a little deeper in the system, you have higher grades of 6 meters of 4.29 and 31 grams per ton silver. So this is really encouraging to us. This is what started the path of, okay, we must have this feeder zone at the bottom of this pit. So this is a lovely picture of our Santa Fe pit. One thing right off the bat, you'll notice there's no water. We never hit the water table. There's lots of oxides below this. In the sunlit wall, you'll see that that's all oxidized. We have been focusing a fence of drill holes beyond that, so the idea would be to lay that back at some point. The BH zone, you see the line there, that is our feeder zone to the project so far. And you can see the highlights in BH3 there. We have very thick intervals of nice low grade 287 meters at 2.4 grams per ton gold and 12.9 silver. But then you see these higher grades at 34.7, 7.26 meters, 11.3, 10.25. So not only is it important for us to understand what we have in the oxidized material, but where our sulfides begin and how much of it we have there as well. So the east part of the district comprises of the York, Calvada, and the slab pit. You'll notice a lot of colorization around the slab pit. Lots of holes here. They're very shallow, 100 feet holes. And you have to keep in mind that when they were mining, it was 1988, 1990. It was $400 gold, $350. So they were, drilling to make money. But for us, it was really important to see all these drill holes and identify what they were studying. They never hit sulfides. So what we did was we put fences to the north of the slab pit down to 300 meters. It's all oxidized to date, so we're very encouraged. We have not seen this data because of us very close to going public. We have about 12 holes sitting in our warehouse just dying to know information, but it looks very encouraging. We currently have an RC rig that's drilling between the Calvada and slab pit. That's focused on bringing more mineral blocks into our resource model because Q1 of next year is going to be an important time for us to announce that. So the Pinnacle Target is really interesting as well. There's no drill holes here to date, so this will be a new discovery zone at some point for us this next year. We've done samples on the surface, grading 6.6 grams per ton gold, so we know there's lots of yummy stuff here. Up to the west, just off this map, is where the Isabel Pearl mine is, and in fact, they're looking for more ore as well. They've been drilling right on our property line and finding very nice mineralization. So here's where we are today. As I said, we've raised $8.5 million to date. Our market cap is $28.8 million. 82.4 million shares outstanding. We like to show this chart of where we are now and where we could be in the near future. With this next raise, will be about a $50 million market cap coming to the market, and we think that that's going to have a lot of upside for our shareholders in the near term. Thank you for your time.